So, I'm Michel Chapoutier. I'm wine grower, winemaker, and wine lover. I presented the wine of vintage 06. They are all single vineyards. That means single vineyards are wine which are not the best wine we produce, but the best pictures of the terroir. The originality of our winery is not to try to do the best, but is to make the pictures of the terroir. The terroir is what? The soil, the climate. Climate means vintage also, and the human. And for the climate, for the vintage, we never change the vintage by acidification or chaptalization. That means that the wine we have tasted are exactly the pictures of what the climate and the soil give to us. The one that I preferred was probably the Hermitage White Deloré, which is 100% Marsanne, and a wine which can age more than 100 years.
So, and that's which vintage?
06.
Oh, the 06. Oh, of course it was. So you had a full audience here. I think you had about 80 people here. What's the audience like? What's the Decanter audience like?
It was interesting because people were asking questions. I could see that there were a good level of knowledge, because it's always the problem. I am sometimes too technical, and finally I felt confident because people were not lost when I was too technical. Obviously I was a real wine lover.
Absolutely. And tell me something about your plans and how the wines are going to develop in style over the next few years, and how you're working with biodynamics. So
the idea is, of course, we work with biodynamic, because biodynamic means the life in action. That means we work with no chemical product, no IDE, no herbicide IDE, no fungicide, no insecticide. No, the power of the life. And like that, we want to have some soils alive. They can extract from the deep soil the signature, the characteristic of the soil. And like that, I don't try to make wine with fruit. For me, the fruit is to the wine what the disco is to the music. I want to make wine with minerality and texture. And all the work is to find the signature of the soil in the taste. If you change appellation, the taste of the wine has to change. And that is exactly what I want, to go more and more minerality in the wines.
And what is exactly the relationship between disco and music? Fruit is to wine as disco is to music. Explain that.
Disco is, I would say, cheap music for uneducated people. Fruit is interesting for first price wine, where you will have a wine easy, which will give you an easy pleasure.
An instant pleasure.
An instant pleasure.
Like disco. Excellent.
So,